She didn't destroy you. You just found it easier to believe that than to accept the truth. You ignored the signs. From the beginning, every silence she gave you that left you confused. Every time you justified the lack of respect with the excuse that nobody is perfect. You were wrong. She just did what anyone would do with the space you left. The emotional discipline you ignore is the same one that knocked you to the ground. You prepared yourself to lift weights, but you never prepared yourself to raise your own self-esteem. You knew she wasn't good for you. You could feel it in your stomach, but you kept going anyway, because it's easier to pretend that everything is fine than to be alone and face yourself in the mirror. The pain you feel now wasn't created by her. She just revealed who you always were, someone who doesn't know how to set boundaries. She tested you, first with small provocations, jokes that belittled you in public, comments disguised as jokes. You laughed, pretending it didn't hurt. Then came the subtle control, where you were, with whom, why it took you so long to respond, and you thought it was cute, you thought it was jealousy of those you love. But it wasn't love, it was possession. And the strangest thing is that you knew it. You knew it, but you ignored it. You turned crumbs of affection into emotional feasts because you thought it was the most you deserved. Emotional discipline would have made you stop there. It would have made you leave. But you were addicted to the idea that you needed to be strong enough to endure everything. And you didn't realize that the truly strong are the ones who walk away. The ones who choose peace even if it hurts. The ones who choose silence even if loneliness screams. The truth is that you used this relationship as an excuse to run away from what you really needed to face, your own neediness. Because it hurts to admit that you don't love yourself enough, that you settled for less because you thought it was all you deserved. Physical discipline is visible. The body changes. The mirror shows it. But emotional discipline, no one sees that. It shows itself when you say no even though you want to say yes, when you close the door even though you love, when you choose yourself, not because you're selfish, but because you learned that your peace is worth more than any excuse disguised as love. Emotional discipline is not coldness, it's self-control. It's not allowing someone else's pain to become your routine. It's understanding that love should never be accompanied by humiliation. Do you want revenge? Evolve. Do you want to get revenge on her? Disappear. But don't disappear to provoke. Disappear to find yourself. Because the problem was never her. The problem was that you insisted on someone who had always shown that he was not capable of loving you the way you needed. The problem was that you romanticized the signs of abuse. The problem was that you called intensity what was just instability. Toxic relationships only survive where there is no limits. And limits are not impositions. They are silent declarations of how much you value yourself. An emotionally disciplined man does not beg for love. He selects, he observes, he measures attitudes, and most importantly, he does not waste himself trying to please someone who has never really seen him. You learned the hard way, but you learned, and now you have two choices. Repeat the cycle, blaming others for every pain you feel, or become the kind of man who never ignores the signs again. The pain you felt was not in vain. It was the awakening, because suffering breaks, but it also shapes. Now is your chance to step out of the victim role and take the lead. No more narratives that keep you weak. No more repeating patterns. Emotional discipline begins when you understand that loving yourself is more important than being loved by someone who doesn't even know how to love themselves. They didn't destroy you. You just allowed them in and without showing them the way out.